Live with the Stefster. There you go. There's your nickname.
I finally got one.
Oh, for crying out loud. I got like 5,000 things open right now. Yeah, I'm trying to, okay, let's see. Hopefully we're live. Good morning, everyone. If we are live, I can't see it yet because I'm trying to access the group page because my page is, my computer's going super slow. Good morning, everyone. We are live. Good morning, hustlers, to the newer hustlers, to those of you who are brand spanking new. If you just joined the group this morning, please make sure that you read the pin post in the very top of the group and you adhere to the rules. That being said, good morning, and we are joined by the wonderful, the fabulous, the talented, the incredibly skilled, the lovely Miss Stef Negrin.
Thank you. That is the best intro that I've heard.
I do what I can. I try to top everybody else. So Stef and I, good morning. Stef and I met everybody by participating in the Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs course. God, it's been about a year ago now that I joined as a student. And we've been just supporting each other and blowing each other's businesses up ever since. Stef is incredibly talented. She started out, I think, just kind of running ads for other businesses. But before I get into all that, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us this morning. I know we're on a bit of a tight schedule, so I'm going to pick your brain a little bit, ask you some questions about your business, and we'll let some people ask some questions in the group as well. So to get started, thank you again for joining us. And Stef, how did you get started with your business?
So it all started, I was, sick and tired of my job, as a lot of people out there are probably in the same boat. And I was already doing a couple things. I had 2 Etsy shops. I had a YouTube channel for beauty products. I was doing reviews for that. And I was like, how can I monetize this? Because it's not making enough income as it is. I was selling stationery, so it's like $1 per thing, like pencil or whatever. So I wasn't making enough money for me to like live this lavish life that I wanted to live. So I decided to take my business of actually learning social media and growing my own Instagram accounts into being a social media manager. And that's kind of where like our paths, I think, kind of correlate, because that's what you're teaching currently. But I was, growing people's Instagrams account, growing their Facebook pages, and it started coming about that people were asking me to do Facebook ads for them. So I didn't know, how to do that or really how to play with it. So that's when I joined the Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs and, got to know all the wonderful people that we know now, Landon, Arnie, everyone's part of that group. So really a great community of entrepreneurs in there. So from there, I just really started to, do the curious student, just getting my feet wet with everything. And I already had clients from my business that I was able to pitch and see if I could do the work for them. So I know a lot of people kind of remember me. I know it's been like maybe 6 months since I've been like active, but like people will still come to me and be like, I remember you hustling in that group and like always posting like, your struggles and your accomplishments and stuff. And I was like, yeah, like that's kind of how I developed the skills that I have now. Like I'm not afraid to ask questions and things like that. Like I'm not a know-it-all, that's really how you could expand. So how I'm in the place I am now, I really admire people that could teach other people how to do something. So people were, consistently asking me in private messages, like, how do you create this? Or how do you run ads for this type of person? So I felt the need to create a free Facebook group in order to kind of share with a lot of people. So, one-on-one, it's kind of difficult to talk to everyone that private messages you, but when you just do a live stream, you could reach thousands of people. So that was my intention. And that's kind of where I'm at now. So it's been a fun time.
It has been a fun time. It was actually, I will tell you, I have been and was earlier, like, almost a year ago, completely in awe of you. You were definitely one of the accelerators out of Dan's program. I mean, you freaking took off really quickly. You're a very fast learner. And it's not so much even that you're a fast learner. You took action. You took action right away. You didn't mess around. You knew what you wanted to do, and you went for it. And you went for it full force. And I absolutely, I'm very proud of you, and I'm in awe of you, and I congratulate you, because let me tell you something. You want to see somebody who hustles? This girl right here hustles hard. She does not play around. So I commend you for that, Stef. Really, it's awesome what you've done. Yes, very, very proud of you. Okay, so. Another reason why we wanted to talk about you is because you have a free Facebook group called Funnel and Grind. So what is your group all about? What are you doing in there every day?
So it started off just wanting to teach people the funnel basics. And then I realized that a lot of people were having the same questions. So how do you get clients? How do you actually close sales? How do you establish how to be a funnel strategist? Because a lot of people are, in the space of wanting to do the same thing that we're doing, building funnels for people. So I have, a private coaching program that I have now where I mentor people how to actually become a funnel strategist. So that's kind of evolved, and, it takes different shapes. So whether you like to be working just for real estate or working just for a specific niche, other than that, I kind of have done every single industry I could possibly think of, and I could give you the advice needed to kind of excel with that industry, as well as like onboarding and just like the paperwork stuff that a lot of people don't really know how to actually accomplish. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a huge one. So anybody who's paying attention, that's a big question. A lot of people ask me that when I was a Facebook ads agent, and I fired myself from that because it just, my passion wasn't in it at all anymore. I much prefer teaching everybody how to do the thing, right? Whether it's Facebook ads or Instagram, whatever it may be, really. But that's one of the bigger questions that people have asked me when they're starting their own agency is, hey, do I write up a contract? Should I call it a contract? Should I maybe call it an agreement instead? Because sometimes that word contract gets to be icky. So sometimes agreement sounds better, but that paperwork piece alone, that whole onboarding thing, like you're talking about, some people, they need help with that. They don't know how to do that stuff. So that's a really good tidbit of information. So if you're interested in learning how to do that stuff, you want some paperwork and some documentation, little coaching on that, then definitely go check out Stef's group, Funnel and Grind. We're going to pop her link in there in just a minute. So Stef, just out of curiosity, what is an actionable tip that you would give your viewers?
Well, thank you for asking that. So, the basis of what I teach is being visible, and actually, if you think that you just set up your website and people will come, that's not going to happen. That's called hope marketing. You're just hoping that someone will come across you and just be begging to buy something from you. So that doesn't happen in the real world. I'm sorry to break it down. But essentially what I teach is attraction marketing and how to put yourself out there authentically. So the people that are actually becoming leads are familiar with your brand. They know what you're talking about. They know you're the authority and the expert in that industry. So there's no need to actually convince them of these things while you're on the discovery call, because I feel like a lot of time might be spent if you're doing cold calling or cold emailing, just trying to explain to them why you're the perfect fit for their team. So instead I teach, the principles of how to set up your Facebook profile. That's one of the key places where I teach how to set up, your traction marketing on there. So that's something that I want to show you guys how to, revamp your Facebook profile so that you can have that kind of set up for yourself.
That's awesome. So guys, are you hearing this? So Stef actually wants to share her screen and show you guys how she does this stuff. If you guys are down for that, will you give us some likes and love and tell Stef that we love her and that we want to learn her magical ways? I'm actually going to stop the video on my screen so that she blows up a little bit more. There we go. Let's get some likes and love in this. Stef's awesome, you guys. She's amazing. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to stop the video on mine. And then I'll let you share your screen and do your thing.
Okay, I think I'm sharing.
You are.
So, so the Facebook profile is really the key place to start, because a lot of people, are already being interactive on Facebook groups. And when they hover over your name, they're essentially seeing a snippet of everything that you have on your Facebook profile. So they see your cover photo, they see a little bit of the intro, and all this area right here. So if you don't have that optimized for exactly telling people what it is that you do, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table, essentially. So the first thing I talk about here is your cover photo. And, here you really have to have a strong call to action of where you want people to lead to. And this is why I call this a funnel, because essentially the funnel is first you make them aware of your brand. And this is clearly showing, what my brand's about. I'm a digital strategist. I build sales funnels, and I'm a Facebook ads manager. And I'm telling you to join like-minded entrepreneurs at this free Facebook group. So, the link is here for them to kind of join in. So that's kind of step number one, to have a clear call to action on your cover photo. I see a lot of people that have great businesses, and when I go over to their Facebook profile, there's no indication of them being open for business. So you can't make sales if you're not putting out your offer, essentially. So this is kind of like step number one to lead them down that kind of rabbit hole. So you have your link there, and you just tell them another call to action. So you see a couple people already liked it. And I'll tell you the truth. I'll be just posting on Facebook groups, maybe answering a few questions, being funny, throwing up GIFs. And I will get a friend request and a request to join my Facebook group like at the same time.
Yes, absolutely.
So I feel like, they first see me and they add me as a friend, and they're like, oh, what's this about? And then they click on the cover photo, and then they're led to the next phase of my funnel. So that's exactly what we want to do, and just continue that nurture sequence to convert them into a prospect, hopefully, and converting into a sale.
That's awesome stuff. You know what? You're actually lighting a fire under me. I've really been, it's something that I've been working on. I've got somebody who's doing some branding stuff for me right now and getting like my logo going. Mm-hmm. But that's something that I have to do. So I'm definitely going to be making that happen. In fact, I'll do it today. I'm going to do this today, and that's going to be the thing that I do today. Just get it done, because you're right. And I actually had somebody reach out to me. A lot of people know about my group, and they see me, I, like you said, you kind of drop some GIFs or GIFs in some other groups and some funny stuff. You drop a couple little knowledge nuggets, whatever. And, I had somebody reach out to me the other day and go, so what exactly do you do? Your profile isn't clear. And I'm like, oh, damn, you're right. Well, because for the longest time there, and I want to speak to this real quick, for the longest time there, I've been in direct sales for a long time. I've been in multi-level marketing for almost 3 years. I don't do that anymore, but one of the bigger things that they told us when I first started in this whole thing of, social media marketing was, you shouldn't use your profile page. That Facebook didn't like it when you used your profile page to run your business. So that was a big no-no. So I have a like page out there, but you want to know how many times I use my like page? Never now. Everybody uses their personal page as what they do. Right. So that's a big thing. Like, so if you are out there and you have a personal or a business page, cool, but you don't use your business page to go and, and socialize and hop into these groups and make comments and stuff. So you want to make that be on your personal page. So that's a really good point. So thank you, Steph, for sharing that. I appreciate that.
No problem. So the next step I kind of look at is the intro, and essentially what you said makes kind of a segue into this. So I tell them exactly what I do. I help service-based entrepreneurs automate their marketing and turn leads into high-paying clients. So, that ties back into a digital strategist, but a lot of people I talk to probably don't even know what that is. They're not in the same circles that we are in. So this kind of breaks it down into layman terms, like this is what I do. And then this is my like page. So I have that linked over there, and you can kind of see like request time, and I've had people book time through that. And converting them into clients. So
that's awesome.
That's something that I would recommend you guys do as well. And then over here I have a message button. So there I just have my messenger bot set up. So having all these different touch points here. So wherever they lead up, they're leading into a deeper section of my branding and my marketing. So this is essentially like the lifeline of the Facebook aspect of my business. There's, various touch points that I have, but this is the best place to start. You just have everyone coming, looking, stalking your website sometimes, or your Facebook page rather. And then this is a key place for you to just market yourself. Another thing that I have is called the feature photo. And I've seen people, and I did this myself, like I had pictures of my husband, like our honeymoon and all that stuff. But I found one person that introduced me to just like making this another piece of your marketing. So this is essentially like a lead magnet. So are you ready to grow your email list and your income? Grab the free lead magnet creation workbook. And that's essentially them signing up to my email list. And then I send them emails to nurture them even further. So
beautiful.
Taking all the space that you can here to really put your message out there. And these background photos with the calls to action or whatever message you want to put out there, I think that's really awesome too. A lot of people are using them, but maybe you could use it, to say like, oh, join my Facebook group, and make sure to kind of like link it down here versus here, because the algorithm will kind of hit you harder if you have your links up here. It won't show it as much. So that's just
correct. And that's actually a really good point. Real quick, I want to say that that's a lot of the reason too, you guys, why you want to have your hashtags in the comments in your Instagram account. Everybody asks me about that. That's how Instagram's algorithm works. So that's why if you put your hashtags in your description, it's the same thing with Facebook. Like she just said, it's just, that's how the algorithms work. So it's like candy for them. They like to see that. So
for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is awesome stuff. Like I'm totally going to do this. And you guys, these lives stay on my page. So if you need to go back to it and pause it, whatever. And this video is also going to be uploaded into my course, into my bonus module of my course for my expert witnesses.
Well, I'll actually show you one more thing. So if you click over to my like page, I should really change this to be the same thing, like another call to action. But essentially what I've done here is the services. So when someone books to request a time, it could select which service they're interested in. So you could write down all the things that you do. Maybe someone's not aware that I do copywriting or social media management still. So that could be like an eye opener for them if that's something that they might need. So they click on one of these and then they, pick an availability. Sometimes the times don't work. I wish Facebook could integrate to my calendar, kind of like Calendly or Acquia does. But, it doesn't hurt because I still get it in my messenger, and I could just tell them, look, that time doesn't really work for me. If you could just choose from, one of the times that do work, then that'd be great. So that's that. And also you could link your group. So that's another cool thing that Facebook rolled out was linking to your group. So if I go over to Funnel and Grind, then I'm linked up here. So if anyone's ever confused of like who the owner is of the group, just kind of ties back and forth to each other.
Can you do that? You can do that in your personal page too, right? Or no?
I think it's just the like pages right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because now I'm really curious. I've seen sometimes where I go on people's pages and I see the little globes, the internet globes. Do you know how to do that? Or is that just something that it looks like that on mobile?
The internet globes. So like when someone writes a post?
No, when they, sometimes I'll go to some people's profiles. I don't know if it's just on mobile, but I don't think that it is just on mobile from my mobile device, where if I go to their profile, that I can see there's like these little globes and then it has their links, different links, like, and the links are stacked. So it's like to their websites or whatever.
Yeah. So that is mobile only. Cause I don't see that. I don't see that ever, but, I don't remember off the top of my head how to do that. I might make a video and, post it underneath this one, but essentially, it's somewhere in your settings where you could add all the different emails that you want, or links, and Instagram you could add underneath there, so everyone has like access to your social media accounts.
Okay, cool. No, I'll have to figure that out. I don't think it was working properly on my desktop. I might have to do it from my phone specifically. So that's good to know. Stef, that was awesome. I mean, if anybody's watching right now, I hope that they realize like that was a nice little free nugget of information right there, free little walkthrough. That's something that you don't really get every day. So thank you very much for showing us that. Does anybody have any questions for Stef while she's here? She's got a nice little pretty little brain on that head of hers. So if anybody's that's their website, Trish, you can add websites to your personal page. Okay, cool. Okay, so Dustin says that I can add websites to my personal page. Okay, cool. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to post on here afterward if you're not watching it live. And thank you all for joining us. And thank you to Stef very, very much. We're going to have her go ahead and pop your link in there, Stef, into the group for us so people know how to come find you. And you can also go check out her like page, which is linked to her profile. So she's got it all there. Any way to
conveniently for you guys.
That's right. It's all there conveniently for you. So thank you again very much. I know that you have another appointment that you have to hop on shortly. So is there anything else that you want to share with the group or?
So I see that there's a couple of you guys on. We have Brian, we have Dustin and Jason. So what are you guys doing currently for your marketing? I'm curious to know. Like, are you doing email marketing, cold calling? What are you guys doing right now to pull in leads?
So I will speak for Brian because Brian's my husband and he is, he's traveling right now and I have gotten on him really hard. Brian does trade shows, event planning, and he's a travel agent. And so right now he books, he prefers to book like higher ticket stuff, like for trade shows and travel. So he likes to work with like corporations or he likes to specialize in like attaboy trips or getaways, incentive trips, like stuff like that. But he really isn't marketing. So I'm the head of his marketing department. And I told him that one of the things that he really needs to do is incorporate his business into his personal page too. He has a like page on Facebook, but he's not putting any content out there. So what would be your advice? Because I have some ideas, but what would be your advice because travels, it can be a hard thing. Travel, I feel like travel and real estate can be two really hard niches to put any kind of real content out there that attracts people. So what would be some of a tip from you or 2 tips from you for a travel agent or a or something like that to help him out?
So I actually worked with both of those industries. So the travel agent, he was booking resorts in Mexico and he had like a timeshare or something that he was trying to push out. So what we did for him was we grew his Instagram account and kind of look at Instagram like if it's a visual product, like a real estate agent is great on Instagram because you need to see visually the houses or the corporate offices that they're selling. And now they have that cool feature that you can have multiple, like a carousel, you can have multiple pictures in one image, which they didn't have like back in my day. I'm like acting like I'm old, but back in my day.
That's awesome.
But like now it's really great because you could have, one image, but then have multiple shots of the same house. So it's really like a real estate website where you would have all these different pages, right? So I would suggest growing that, and you're the perfect person to show him how to do that. And then have that link to bio really pronounced when they're talking about like, if you want to see more, click that link on the bio, refer this to a friend, like have those calls to action within Instagram because they don't know what to do with information. Like, how do I go to the next step? So you have to kind of lead the horse to the water when it comes to advertising. Like if I just sat around and said, I'm a Facebook ads manager and like had no buttons, nothing to contact me, then people are just gonna be like, cool, like I'm just going to go on to the next person. That made it kind of more clear for me to take an action. So I would do that. And then also I really like live streaming. I think that's been the key thing for me to grow my Facebook group, and just my overall business has really exploded since I've been more out there with live streaming. I know it's difficult, introverts, and like I'm kind of like an ambivert, like I'm both, like on special days, but I feel like just kind of pushing past that and getting confidence in yourself and just saying like, I am the expert and I need people to actually hear my message. And it's not just for my financial benefit, but it's also for the benefits of the people that are watching. So
that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
I feel like those 2 things are really key. And create a Facebook fan page, because you can't advertise in Facebook groups. Like if you make a video within your Facebook group, you can't send money to that ad. You have to put it in your fan page in order to do that. So my trick is I do any video that I eventually want to advertise, I put it in my fan page and then I share it into my Facebook group. So that way I'm kind of hitting 2 things.
So that's really important. So what Stef pretty much just covered was, the importance of obviously a video, right? The who, what, why, and how. And I've mentioned these to my husband as well. For him, it's just a matter of he's got to implement the tips and tricks that I give him. He's just, and that's a big piece of it. That's the most important piece, right? You can have all that content out there, but if you don't put it out there to the masses. And the other thing that you mentioned, and it was almost kind of like a sprinkle of mention, that you're doing your audience, your prospective clients, an injustice if you're not sharing the information that you have to help them with their business, right? If you have a solution to their problem, whether you're a travel agent and you do trade shows or you're a Facebook ads agent, right? If you're not telling people about what you do, then they don't know that it's out there. They don't know it's available to them. So you're doing them an injustice. If you're running a business and you're not getting it out there, oh my God, eating my own words, going to fix up my profile today. But you're absolutely right. So thank you, Stef, very much for calling that out and explaining that to people, because that's a really good important point, and that's how we grow our business.
Exactly.
And that's how we help people, right? Service, attraction, marketing, and service. All right, I'm sitting here tapping the hearts as much as I can on this. We got about 7 or 8 people at one time. We got 6 people in there right now. Again, I know that you have a client call in just a few minutes. So thank you again very, very much. We appreciate it. Those are some great tips, some great knowledge. We absolutely love you. I think I'm going to see you on Landon's live tonight, correct? Yep. So we're going to be doing a live with the Sales Gorilla in the Jungle, the Gorilla Army Nation. They do Friday night lives, and we're going to be sharing our secrets to success and tips and tricks and goodness. So if you are not a part of that yet and you'd like to be a part of it, come join the fun. It's at Getting Clients Without Being Salesy. And if we like you and you're a good fit, then we'll add you to the group. If we think that you suck, then we're going to decline you. That's how we roll.
That's how we do.
All right, Steph, thank you so much, sweetheart. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later tonight.
Thank you, Trish. Take care. Bye, guys.
You got it. Bye-bye.